This archway had been bricked up, and not that long ago either. No mystery there. I was the one who wrecked the original in the first place. The wall was well built and very, very solid. There was a faint inscription, but the decaying plaster made it almost impossible to read. I could make out some medieval French and some Latin, but not enough to squeeze out any meaning. I left the ancient archway alone. The inscriptions in the arches probably once told the truth about the extermination of the Templars. Like a lot of truths, time had blurred it. There was nothing I could do with the ancient archway that wouldn't have upset archaeologists. A big, spooky skull stared out at me. The mouth looked out of proportion. I didn't like the idea of putting my hand in the skull's mouth. But hey, what the heck? I was only risking mutilation. No blade took my hand off at the wrist, and no spider bit me, for which I was very grateful. But there was nothing in there to help me either. The skull's mouth had the same shape as the stone cylinder. Aha! I could write a book on secret doors. I really could. Oh my God! Something truly nasty had happened here. A trail of blood led round the corner. There was a large pool of blood on the floor. We weren't talking chickens here. A trail of blood led away. Either someone had crawled away or been dragged. I wasn't going to dip my fingers in this stuff. It was still fresh. I'd arrived too late. Cesaro and his men had shown no mercy for these poor souls. How could anyone do this? Cesaro's men had shown no mercy. A fire had been burning. It was still smoldering. The attack must have happened within the last few hours. An unfinished chess game. There were only two pieces left, a bishop and a king. It was a no-win situation. I just wanted to leave him in peace. It was one of the Templars. He'd been badly beaten. The sink was full of dirty, used mugs. The attack had obviously been sudden and unexpected. The microwave's oven control panel was smashed, but the 10-second button was still intact. Only useful if you needed to cook something for less than a minute, of course. It was a very expensive coffee machine. Cesaro's men had smashed it up pretty good. I guess they didn't like coffee. It was one of the Templars. He'd been badly beaten. Cesaro's men had shown no mercy. I didn't want to, but I had to search the body. The only thing on him was an old rusty key. It was an old key. Just as I'd feared, Cesaro had arrived first. One of Cesaro's men was guarding the kitchen. I couldn't get through while he was there. I was gonna have to find a way to distract him. The microwave suddenly sprang into life. It was going to make a noise. I had to hide, fast. Mission accomplished. The guy was now trapped in the room. I could hear the guy muttering to himself. He sure didn't sound happy. The guard had sat down to a hearty meal. Beans, egg, some chicken. How could anyone sit down to eat a meal surrounded by this carnage? Some cast iron pots with broth simmering in them. Sweet smells wafted over. On the shelves were a mixture of canned foods and game. Pheasant and beans, a Stobart family favorite. It looked like an old map of Europe. Had to be 500 years old. Game, hung ready for skinning and cooking. The Templars lived well. Rabbit, pheasant. That was strange. The blood trail led to the wine rack, but then completely disappeared. No pool of blood, no body, no nothing. It was a bottle of French champagne, Montagne de Reims. It was a bottle of French wine, Chateau Barentois. It was a bottle of Israeli wine, Carmel Sauvignon Blanc. It was a bottle of Italian wine, Modena Lambrusco. It was a bottle of German wine, Wiesbaden. It was a bottle of Israeli wine, Carmel Sauvignon Blanc. It was a bottle of French champagne, Montagne de Reims. It was a bottle of Italian wine, Modena Lambrusco. It was a bottle of German wine, Wiesbaden. It was a bottle of French champagne, Montagne de Reims. Hey, presto! To my delight, the wine rack moved to reveal a secret passage. The blood trail continued.
Ah, Stobart. We knew you would come.
Hey, you're the guy who mugged me outside the theater.
We had to have the key of Solomon. Now listen to me. Susaro is more powerful than we thought. There isn't much time. You must find the others. Protect the key.
Where is it?
Look for the statue. It hides the...
Hides what? I wasn't going to get any more from the guy. It was the body of the guy who'd taken the key from me outside the theater. He'd tried to tell me something about a statue. I couldn't find any clues. Whatever he was trying to protect, it was clearly worth laying his life down for. The secret door was very well hidden. I couldn't tell where the secret door ended and the wall began. The broken clock had stopped at 3:42. Cesaro's men must have been here for at least an hour. They must have been desperate. Hardly anything had been left untouched. The clock was smashed so badly it was beyond repair. They'd looked everywhere for the key. I hope they found it. I couldn't hear anything. The clock was large, beautiful, and useless. It didn't work. The key to adjust the time had been left in the clock face. The key to adjust the time had been left in the clock face. I set the clock to 3:42, the time I'd seen on the smashed clock. Nothing happened. I entered the time that corresponded to the date this place was dedicated to St. Stefan. It was around 12:47. That didn't work. It was a medieval tapestry depicting a knight on his horse. It reminded me of a manuscript I once found. A finely carved statue of a knight of the Templar order. Not very flattering. I couldn't see any levers or buttons. It was a large statue of a man. Maybe this was the statue the Templar had been trying to tell me about. Below the statue, on the plinth, was a brass plaque. The plaque indicated that the statue was of Saint Stefan. Below his name was a quote, "Blessed is he that readeth, and they that hear the words of this prophecy, and keep those things which are written therein, for the time is at hand." Revelation. Now, when I was a boy, Grandpa Stobart, or to give him his full title, the Very Reverend Archie Stobart, had insisted I went to Bible class. So Revelation was no revelation to me. It was a statue of a Templar knight. The statue was old, very old. I flicked through the good book looking for the right chapter. Aha! Revelations. Now, where is it? Got it. Blessed is he that readeth, and they that hear the words of this prophecy, and keep those things which are written therein, for the time is at hand. Chapter 1, verse 3. 103. I entered the time suggested by the verse from the Bible, chapter 1, verse 3. Nothing. I was running out of ideas. Then a sound caught my attention. Sliding statues, ancient mechanisms. You didn't get this kind of thing back in Idaho. Behind the statue, a flight of stairs was going up. Well, here goes.
Seize him!
Whoa!
Let him go. Come in, Monsieur Stobbart. We've been expecting you.
Who are you?
I am the preceptor of the temple.
The chapter of Saint Stefan?
Very good. Your deductions brought you here, as we knew they would.
My deductions also tell me you've got the key of Solomon.
We did have it, briefly, but alas, it has been taken again.
Cesaro.
He attacked swiftly and with overwhelming force. My men fought bravely, but it was not enough. A few of us retreated here to hide. A few miserable survivors.
Why is the key so important?
You know of the armillary?
Some?
Cesaro has set the armillary in motion. He will use the key to release the dragon energy in an enormous burst, which he will then harness to fulfill his own desires.
So where's the armillary? Surely all we have to do is go there and turn the damn thing off.
The whereabouts of the armillary have been long forgotten. 3 ancient stones hold the secret to its location.
Don't tell me. You lost them too?
We have 1 stone.
Show me. Bingo. I do believe we've got the other 2.
It is said that the 3 stones are linked. With the stones there is a chance.
What can I do to help?
We will send our best knight, chivalrous, tenacious, and unswerving in his determination to fight evil.
Well, whoever this guy is, he's gonna need a hand.
That is for him to decide. Kneel.
Hi, guys.
George, are you okay?
Just about. I went down below Montfaucon. They led me to a secret Templar base, and Andre, you were right. The Templars did survive.
Of course.
The original St. Stephen chapter.
But they must have been hundreds of years old.
My little chickpea, it doesn't mean the people themselves were original.
Oh,
Trouble is, Cesaro beat me to it. He's got the key of Solomon. He's probably already on his way to the armillary.
did you find its location?
No. If the Templars ever knew it, it's long been forgotten. They did give me another of the alphabet stones, though.
Another clue.
Not only that, they, knighted me.
What?
Knighted, as in made me a knight.
Extraordinary.
That's how it felt.
Did they do it with a sword?
Yep, whole shebang. Arise, Sir George. What do you think, Nico?
I'm speechless.
I guess if you and me were married, that'd make you a lady.
Very funny. So what should we call you? Your Highness?
My liege?
Oh, shucks, let's not be formal. Lord Stobart of Idaho will do for now. Do you have any fresh ideas?
I'm as stumped as you are, George.
Have you noticed how Andre has changed lately? He's almost charming.
Beatrice has addled his mind.
You don't like Beatrice much, do you?
She's a silly, over-made-up, underdressed little girl.
Ouch.
I just think Andre could do better for himself. That's all.
Any idea what the symbols on the alphabet stones could mean?
No. Even Andre's not able to help with this.
It's so frustrating. We know the armillery's somewhere in Egypt.
So maybe we should look at a map of Egypt.
And you just happen to have one handy, I suppose.
Well, while you were out getting knighted, we found a DVD filled with satellite maps.
Cool.
Here it is.
So let's take a look at Egypt.
We thought satellite maps would more closely represent the Egypt of thousands of years ago.
There aren't any ley line maps by any chance.
This is scientific fact, George.
Looks like it needs bringing up to date.
You can't deny the evidence, Andre.
Just when you think you understand the way the world works.
I'm always finding the same thing about women.
Hey,
Sorry, where were we?
look! There's Northern Africa.
Nico, look there. The psi symbol looks like the Nile Delta.
You're right, George. Let's have a closer look at that section.
Nico, there's another match.
The omega symbol is just like that bend in the river.
Let's have a closer look.
I'm a bit stumped this time, George.
Could be a dead end.
No. Look at the arrangement of those ruins.
They seem to be arranged in a cross, but not quite.
They're like the points on the Alpha Stone.
I wondered what they meant.
That can't be right. One of them is missing.
Exactly. The missing point is the location we're looking for.
So, we just read the map reference.
And we have the location of the armillery.
Well done, George.
Thanks, Andre. Come on, Nico. We have to stop Cesaro.
One of us should be patrolling, you know.
Yeah, you're right. Off you go then.
Oh, thanks.
No, I mean, I'd love to help, but, well, strong sunlight makes me blotchy.
Well, use your sunblock then.
Well, that makes me blotchy too.
You're pathetic. How did you ever get to be a henchman?
This is the place, all right. So, what's the plan?
I thought it was your turn to think of one.
I'm sure it was yours.
I guess we'll just have to do what we always do.
Wing it?
I prefer the word improvise. That doesn't look like a proper entrance. Cesaro has tunneled his way into the temple.
Guarded, too. Direct approach is out. Again.
We should scout out the rest of the area.
Great idea! Did you bring the cloak of invisibility?
Damn! I left it in a bag of forgetfulness.
Nico!
Hey, did you hear something?
No?
I could have sworn... You'd best go and look.
Oh, right. Me? Why me? You're the one with the overactive imagination.
Out of the two of us, who's scarier?
Ah, but I also get sunburn, remember?
Okay, I'll do it.
Oh, great. Now the guard's patrolling.